that is a prime example of what happens when it comes down to rounds and who plays what side. It was so one-sided on defense or attack that when Senshi got on defense, they controlled it. They won it all. But Bank.
But
Interesting
Bank.
enough. Bank. Yeah. This is another kind of similar map in the way that you can play it. It's good on hard breaching. It's more so good on utility. Maverick, he's a big player in this. Would not be surprised to see if he got banned out. Yeah, it's gonna be Maverick again.
And you are right.
Predictable. A little bit predictable.
It was. All in all, it pretty much was.
Would not be surprised once again to see those comfort bands come into play, such as, Capitao, Mira, and Echo. Yeah.
You know what? Let me just real
It's in the
quick.
meta. It's in the cards.
I'm just gonna log off of Steam. Or actually, I'm just gonna go in do not disturb mode. That was embarrassing. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, back at it. Capitao, Echo. It really does seem like we're gonna have the exact same bands as last time. Really talking about comfort bands. Those are the ones. The only one operator I would be somewhat surprised to not see banned, and it's actually too late for him to get banned as he's an attacking operator. Thatcher has been a crutch ban in the past few months. But tonight, well, he will just be part of the game.
Indeed. He will. But Bank, as it is round 1. There's a lot that you can say about this, especially with Joe Esports coming in on attack at the beginning. Our first site, however, will be Exec Lounge and CEO Office. Not really too much of a surprise there, even though CEO Office is normally a secondary site. It seems to be that, a once popular site, Teller's Archives, is definitely not in the cards for these teams anymore, especially now with the frag heavy meta. Definitely see a lot of teams struggling to hold the top floor being CEO when you go Teller's Archives. So again, it makes for a much easier defense when you actually take the top floor. But of course, again, there is lots and lots of cons of going the top floor, such as the rappel opportunities on the window. There are a lot of long hallways. I mean, that could be used either way, but again, a lot of hard breaching opportunities and ways into the objective that are entirely, you can hold lots of passive angles and are super open.
So, I have heard Thumbs placing down a bulletproof camera. It's going to be right here. And, the bulletproof camera has the ability of highlighting thermal as images. So, basically, if somebody was to rappel up here, even though the image would be tiny on the screen, it would be highlighted. And as such, the advantage of surprise that can be held for quite some time due to the distance. The audio cues don't really make it that far usually. Will just not be happening, assuming somebody sits on that camera. And it might even happen pretty quickly. Thatcher will not rappel up, rather he toss a drone in. Ollie will be doing that, however. Ollie is already kind of out for blood, looking for a first lucky pick, which will not happen, obviously, after all, right? OTF was just not gonna peek that, or peek that too aggressively. But as I say this, what was happening here? Both players exchanging fire, but Thumbs obviously able to heal himself, and that's gonna be Glow with his roaming game, who gets the first blood. Rethinking will have to basically rethink his life choices, and Clicks tossing a few flash grenades. I'm not exactly sure what he hopes to get out of that.
He's the CEO of throwing flash grenades this time in this matchup. He is the CEO of throwing flash grenades. He's on point with these now. But Gio and Habana are on the prowl here. Obviously, the hard breach operators are still up, so that gives some hope to the attack and being able to make their way into the objective. However, the Thatcher now knows that Glow is sitting in Teller's office, so, I mean, he can be killed by him quite easily, but it's not going to happen as Valkyrie swoops in and steals the kill, but Clicks, he's going to respond to that, getting the shot on Glow. And what is happening? Oh no, is this a rehost situation?
It might be. So, okay, just to make sure I am not the one lagging. No, I'm definitely not the one lagging. Unfortunate Clicks. No.
And he leaves the game. That's a rehost.
That's gotta be a rehost. Well, let's just see if they actually ask for one. If he can X back in really quickly, we're not going to be seeing a rehost situation. And he's returned. Okay. So we have averted the rehost situation, but the end result is still going to be the same. OTF basically won that with a landslide.
They did. And I felt like it was a lot of the defense knowing when to play aggressive, knowing when to peek those angles, and having the advantage. I mean, Thumbus, he was going crazy on Ollie, going back and forth from the windows. You can tell he didn't have the upper advantage in that with, you know, ACOG versus ACOG still. I mean, he could have easily died, got fragged out from any ulterior angle other than the one that Ollie was holding. But again, he chose to peek it, and he got rewarded. There you go.
And as such, with a successful defense by CEO, you might say he's somewhat lucky since OTF have lost a player, or Joe Esports, sorry, have lost a player, and as such, the defense was a bit easier to, say, succeed or to get done. Still, we are gonna go bottom floor this time with a CCTV defense. The overall composition seems to be really similar, and as such, apparently OTF have found out a way to have, say, a standard all-around good composition that they're just gonna bring over for every single round.
Right. Valkyrie. She's going to be throwing those cams up on the first floor. No surprise really there. Now the big question is she going to roam? Because she can really make waves, even though with that MPXP shooter, it's entirely accurate. So she can make a good impact on the round in terms of roaming, but is she going to do it? No. The answer to that is definitely she's making her way back down to the objective. It would have been amazing to see it happen, but yeah, she seems like she's going to play a little bit closer.
Definitely.
If anything.
Smoke is also technically at the first floor, but you know, he's holding blue stairs, so even though his silhouette was pretty high up, vertically speaking, he's not going to be much of a danger as long as the attackers on Joe Esports don't actively push him. We saw somebody, I couldn't tell you whose silhouette it was, though, probably Dokubi's. Ollie has destroyed the barbed wire, but we're not exactly going to be challenging him just yet. Timzy absolutely knows what is going to be coming his way, but he's pretty much powerless. He just has to wait and to hope to win his engagements. And one single Thatcher EMP grenade. Oh yeah, and obviously the exothermic charge are going to be enough to make him change his mind. He is back on OBJ, and now the bomb site is pretty much open to be pushed. No roamer is going to be attempting to dwarf or to harass the attackers before they actively push onto the objective. Glow will be feeding intel, so advantages of surprise will be next to impossible to gather, but still, Rethinkin has a solid aim, and he will try to get 1 or 2 lucky kills. Nobody, however, seems to be peeking him.
Right, it seems like the attack is on the up and up for the hard breach and potential execute. Now,
but wait,
there, interestingly enough, yet is no defender sitting in red. There is going to be Timzy holding from afar, sitting in actual lockers, but other than that, there's nothing really direct, but Valkyrie, she's going to make her way into the objective. Well, watching the objective at least from red, and yeah, they're gonna use out the actual nitro cell. They're gonna waste it out, and even with 40 seconds left on the clock, it's gonna be that Timzy, he can waste enough time, but will it be enough? That was a one tap.
Nicely done.
Nicely done.
So
but it's not gonna be rewarded. It's not gonna be rewarded. Rethinking. He's gonna get the kill on Thumbus, and the diffuser. Will it be planted? That's the question. No, since the next nitro cell will be used in the diffuser. Once again, being planted now. 3v4 situation. Glow making his way into the objective, but AIM is holding up above. Is this the play that we needed? Or even that we wanted? AIM, he still is playing up on first floor. He's going to have to make his way down, going straight through the Zofia, who is the first line of defense for that plant. She's going to be making her way, peeking up their blue stairs, and that's a play, and that's a kill.
And that's an ace!
Ace!
Rethinking with the ace. Let's go. So one thing I do believe you might have missed, because you would have probably mentioned it, it was a 1v1 situation, even though technically it was a 3v1. 2 players, 2 attackers were down. So that firefight was a make or break situation, and it ended up being the ace on Rethinking. Nicely done.
I see.
You'll see in the replays, just like make sure I'm not making this up.
I'm taking a look at the replays right now. That is
Just
insane,
unload this.
actually.
Yeah, so you can see Hibana and Thatcher were down, and then Clicks died. So that was really a 1v1 situation, and a flurry of kills happening right there. So 1v1 Rethinking with the
They
all or
were
nothing
both down.
situation. They were.
Now my question is, why did he play so direct on blue stairs? I'm questioning why he didn't play a little bit more passively, maybe even sitting as far as dirt tunnel goes.
Well, he was just so confident.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, of course, he ended up winning it out in amazing fashion. Right, he knew where the Jaeger was coming in, predicted that line of sight, read the play, and countered it very easily.
So there you go. There's absolutely no critique to be had. He won, and as such, he gets to celebrate a nice ace to his name in CL Close Quals nonetheless. So nicely on his part. That wall would usually be reinforced, but we obviously know what it's for. Thumbus trying to get the nice little cheeky kills that, like the one he got last round, right? That ACOG and such a nice aim will get you somewhere. Timsy once again holding blue stairs, this time with a slight new addition or a slight new trick. It's not going to be a barbed wire that can be easily destroyed without even having a line of sight. It's going to be a reinforced shield, which you cannot exactly vault over without being directly in the line of fire of that scary M590.
Right, so Sophia making her way through the top floor heaven, as well as Ali coming in to support her efforts. Yeah, this definitely seems like it's going to be the same scenario where Timsy's going to have to waste as much time as he can before he gets fragged out and or has to rotate back onto the objective, and the attackers will take control of the objective, or some parts of it at least, coming into the server room. But they might be thwarted. Depends on the utility, the resources used by the defense, and how well it's going to be reused through the round. But it's going to be Timsy's pulling a one-man kill. He gets refragged from the get-go. Was that worth it?
I'd say it was. Basically, he failed to retreat before the hatch was opened up. At this point, he had no way out. It was a do or die, or basically accept that you're already a dead man and try to get as many of them with you as possible. And as such, he kind of succeeded, you know? He got Dokkaebi, not exactly highly valued or utility that he just removed from the attacking team, but still, 1 life for 1 life is a trade that at this point was basically worth it. There was no way for him to make it back on site and to prevent, say, that kind of diffuser from being planted. Oh, and Rethinking getting a nice kill, protecting Clicks. That's going to be diffuser planted for sure. We are apparently out of nitro cells as well. That is already a 2v4 situation. Diffuser planted, attackers. Joe Esports already taking lines of sights and preventing any and all attempts from OTF to counter defuse said diffuser. However, AIM getting a first kill. He now has control of top floor. Actually, there is Clicks at the very top of Skylight. I don't expect him to be pushed too quickly, so it's pretty much going to go down to Thumbs. What's he going to do? He knows exactly where they're going to be. He fails to get the first kill. Clicks getting the kill on AIM. Now it's all or nothing. Everything stands on Dux's shoulders. He gets one down, but does not do anything else. Joe Esports winning round 3.
Round 3. What an amazing round. You could tell that by the time the Thermite was able to plant the bomb, that it was all over for the defense, right? The counter angles were too much for them, that it wasn't a retakeable, even frankly a winnable situation for them. Of course, you know, we saw that AIM went up on first floor, as he normally does, but then it just became countered by the Thermite holding Skylight. Again, very unwinnable for them. So unfortunate for it to happen like that. But in the end, I mean, what can you do? You gave up way too much control, and you played aggressive when trying to do the retake, and you got taken advantage of by the Zofia holding the angle, holding the long angle, may it be, from the server stack.
So with that being out of the way, we are now back by CEO. The one round that went into OTF's favor. Will it happen again? I don't expect Joe Esports to just drop a player once more, and as such, it's going to be a bit more of a challenge. But still, it was it Clicks? Yeah, Clicks lost the connection at the very beginning of the game, wasn't it? So I did not actually expect Clicks to get the 1v4 clutch that he had basically to get. So as such, that first round will look pretty good for them. Will OTF be able to just capitalize on said strategy, do it again, and basically win again? Or will Joe Esports adapt to that? This is like the big question right now.
It is, and it ties in with the whole idea of counter-stratting, of being able to predict who's going to do what, and play against it. That is a really hard thing for many teams to capture, which is why, of course, you see, even in PL, that teams can't exactly grasp that concept. It becomes very hard, especially in, you know, the 20-30 seconds that you do get to counter-strat in between rounds. It's just not enough time to look at it, analyze it, and think, this is what we need to do, we'll do this now. Just forward thinking.
And even then, if that's going to be a run out from ZZ, that would be shut down. Click still looking for the camera, gets it though. First kill, first blood for Joe Esports. That first round is looking pretty good for them, or that first engagement is going to make it look pretty good for them. Glow has been droned out as well, and he was in a predictable roaming spot. What can he do from here? He's obviously not going to peek anything that has a too long of an angle, and as such, he's basically just waiting for Joe Esports, to push him. Basically, he's protecting the floor, or protecting the ceiling there. He's just denying verticality off of the first floor, and I think he might be peeked eventually, because obviously you don't want to push into the objective with roamers on your backside. That's going to be Clicks, maybe playing the anti-roaming operator, or the anti-roaming role. Let's see how good or how not really he does it, basically. Glow has moved out of the way, and as such, he's just feeding intel, basically saying that side of the building is, as of now, pretty much clear.
Right, and just like that, it's Sledge playing in Banana. This definitely seems like a switch from any previous strategies. You know, you would normally expect a hit at CEO walls, but especially with the Habana in place, there's not really too much availability to do so. Now, Gio, he's going to be picking up the kill on the one and only Doc. That's him going down, and just like that, Timsy again gets the kill on Clicks, but he is refragged in an amazing dispute from Ali.
And that looks like it's going to be a Nitro Cell as soon as he figures out where the diffuser is being planted, but it's being planted on the table. He gets the kill nonetheless. Wow, I did not expect this to happen. That just bought him some time, but he has to get back on site pretty quickly. And rethinking wasn't the staircase. He's not holding the angle too aggressively, though. The drone has been destroyed. Obviously, his presence will be known, but rethinking, looking at the wrong side. Maybe his presence is not known after all. But he sees the silhouettes, he sees the presence on his left side, though. It's going to be a distraction. Joe Esports winning yet another round, thanks to, I believe it was Hibana's distraction, enabling Rethinking to get basically a really easy, if not even free kill.
Thank you for not making that individual engagements, Joe Esports. I would have been so sad to see the Pulse Glow get a two-man and then just play it off from there. That would have been, I mean, an amazing narrative, right? An amazing comeback, but you just don't see it. You hate to see it coming from these guys. Anyways, 1-3 scoreline. 5th round in it. Joe Esports is yet again in the lead. And what does this mean for OTF? Well, we're in the losers bracket, which means that if OTF gets knocked out this match specifically, they're out. They said goodbye, good night. They're not in here anymore, which is so crazy to imagine, but it's the reality of it. OTF will not be going to CL. They will not be in any action. They're gonna have to kind of rethink their setup, potentially, you know, the way they play as a team. But granted, they do lose this match.
Yeah, it's not over yet. It's still a 1-3 scoreline. It is entirely, say, salvageable. Joe Esports haven't won just yet. OTF can still bring this back. but you know, they'll have to have at it pretty quickly. The more the gap increases between the two teams, the harder it's going to be. And we can see it pretty quickly when it is next to impossible for a team to mount the comeback. It is pretty much now or never. I mean, the point of no return, like we like to call it, tends to happen a bit later on. Do you really expect OTF to win, say, 4 rounds in a row? If the answer is no, said point of no return will happen pretty quickly.
True, and I mean, even if they win 4 rounds in a row right now, that only gives them a 5-3 scoreline.
Yeah.
So it could be, I mean, it wouldn't put them too far in the lead, which is, again, crazy to think about, but still. Great thought. Now, Thumbus, he's going to be opening up the kill feed this round, finding a shot on Ali. Once again, holding the main lobby rappel. And now Geo, he's going to be finding his way through the main lobby itself, getting droned out in the process. Of course, good idea for the attack to do so. Kind of feeding him intel as we go. Now Glow as well. He's going to be sitting in Tellers. That's going to be a prime target for Geo. He's going to find a shot on him, but he won't be able to finalize the kill as Z finds that shot on Geo. Shuts down the push from the attack that way. Now rethinking, he's going to have his hand at it this time. Will he be able to get a kill? That's the question. Now Glow, he still does not have super high health, so he can't get taken advantage of. He can, very easily.
I have to say, I really do like the positioning that we have coming off of OTF here. So Glow obviously is going to be the prime target. It's going to make a big target on his back. And then you have ZZ with the cross angle who basically shuts down the entry from that doorway. But he does not do this this time. Glow gets the kill, however. Now a 4v2 situation. Rethinking, still working on that Tellers area. Still not cleared out, still not safe. And as such, you cannot really mount any convincing push on the OBJ itself. Wimpy, I'm not exactly sure what he was doing downstairs. Probably just entered from garage, but still, in the meantime, it's pretty much rethinking all alone on his lonesome, trying to push in, trying to get the kill. That does not happen, and Diffuser's right there as well, so it's no longer a, say, option to just take out the roamers. You know, you might still hope to just plant it before roamers make it back on site, but that possibility is now no longer one. ZZ is back at the top floor. Rethinking has been put down. I couldn't tell you by whom, and he will pick himself back up, so that's not too much of a problem. Wimpy mounting the pressure on the objective, and please take over. I have the chat to manage.
It's a double kill coming out of Thumbus's MP5, leaving Wimpy on his lonesome to finish off a 3K. 10 seconds left on the clock, and it will be Wimpy picking up one. That's a double kill for him, but with only 5 seconds left, the diffuser is not in his hands. He's gonna get the loss to the round as OTF picks up yet another, putting us at a 2-3 scoreline.
Alright, yeah, so sorry about that. I'm not going to do the replays this round. I just put the chat and followers only since 10 minutes mode, but I believe people have been following for... Yeah, so these are Joe's fans. Guys, we do appreciate you guys rooting for the team, but that's just plain out spam. I'm going to enable slow chat. Now, where do I do this? Slow mode, here it is. Okay, yeah. Say 30 seconds. Yeah, sounds good.
I'd say 20.
20? Alright. Is it enabled? Yeah, it is. Okay. And here's the thing, people can still post it. If there's too many accounts posting at the same time...
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Joe has a million fans.
Yeah, so here's the thing. If too many people just post once every 20 seconds, it can still be a spam situation. But for the time being, guys, please, just help me out here. I don't want to put this into, say, subscriber-only mode, or even... It is still... Oh, let me... I am sorry, but I think I'm just going to add this to the block list on the bot. So as such, no. I would encourage you to just keep on casting, because I am somewhat distracted. And here's the thing, people will just be finding out another way to spell basically the same idea out.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, you just gave them the idea, Hans.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to add every single way of expressing this to the bots, say blacklist, and at some point I'm going to have covered every possible permutation. As such, you are more than welcome. Let me just enable remote control on Parsec, or you know what, we're gonna be static on Thatcher's view for the time being. Yeah,
I already have control of it anyways.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. So, it's going to be Habana walking straight in through the main lobby. That's an engagement between her and the Doc, Thumbus. Yeah, he's going to be peeking that out, but Habana going on her intel ways. It seems Thumbus is going to be peeked from an ulterior angle from Ali. Ali. Yeah, he's going to be watching that just like a hawk while Doc makes his rounds, playing a little bit more passively, making that rotation up through the top floor. Oh, sorry, bottom floor. As the actual objective is going to be bottom floor. Now, Doc sitting in garage. That leaves, well, this area open for the attackers, well, to walk right in. Now, Dokubi sitting on the blue stairs. Again, that's opened up, interestingly enough. So, again, we can assume that Timsy has made his way back to the objective and is ready to play, a little bit more passively, waiting for the plant so he can deny such an occurrence. Right, and with the thermite picking up the main wall, it seems Ali, he's going to be holding a pretty nice angle on towards the objective alongside Rethinkin'. So yeah, this is a pretty standard execute coming out of the eyes of Joe. Yeah, Habana's going to be opening that wall, and at this point, I mean, with about 120 left, it seems they perfected their strategy, right? They are ready to essentially waste as much time as they can, kind of bait out that utility from the defense and foil
diffuser.
the plot of the defense.
Diffuser's already being planted again. Thumbus has a nice angle. He can just basically prevent anybody from walking into the bomb site, but he's looking at just say eyes level, so he cannot actually prevent the plant from happening if he does not preventively do it. And as such, he basically can only frag out those who are covering him. He does get the kill, and I just see a Valkyrie camera here. That's going to be a triple kill for him. Another kill from AIM. Wimpy now in a 1v4 situation. The camera is still up, still feeding intel. He is going to be pushed massively. There was basically nothing he could do. Glow finally getting the kill and destroying that diffuser. That is going to put us at a 3-3 scoreline for the role swap.
Wow. I did not expect that. It's a lot more evened out, it seems, on Bank, and once again, the whole theory is holding up very well of whoever picks the map, it seems the other team dominates on it. This is a big trend in Pro League that we see all too often, coming from two entirely high-level teams. But it just seems one team tends to overestimate, or frankly underestimate, the other. And well, they, I guess, lose? Yeah, it's an unfortunate occurrence, don't you think?
It is. Like, you'd think this is your map, you exactly know what to do, but yet, like, your sets, or whenever you're supposed to have the upper hand, you end up not having it. That is somewhat unfortunate. Yet, it is going to be the reality of the situation, and it is going to take a bit of time before, with the, say, delay, the chat catches up with, like, what we've done to curve the spam, and I'm curious to see if once the people are going to hear this, it is the spam is going to like resume. Yeah, Chile saying, Joe spam, I'm trying to curb this like as much. Can you ban the phrase on the... Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, so you might want to take off slow chat now.
Oh, yes, right. So that's the nice thing. You can just take over the mouse whenever. Yeah, let's turn this off. Thank you. Let's see if it resumes. Yeah, we don't have any mods tonight in the chat. I have to do this, and obviously you don't want to be doing this while casting, because it kind of implies that you're not casting at this very moment. Yeah, still here we are, round 7. Let's see how Joe Esports defends this.
Well, it seems like a pretty standard defense coming out of Joe Esports. Of course, they got a Doc sitting in a forward position on Garage. They have their Kaid playing on Intel, sitting, close to the objective, if not on it. Geo, he's feeding Intel to the team itself. Yeah, he knows where that attacker is. And we got Rethinkin' sitting on blue stairs. Yeah, alongside, of course, the main stage player. We got Clicks on blue stairs himself, holding with the Smoke M59. That's going to be a big time waster for us as these rounds play out. My biggest fear for OTF is, will they get bested by the smoke, or is it smoke just attempting to waste time and eventually gets, you know, flooded out from the pressure?
Indeed. This push seems to be somewhat different, you know? Joe Esports right now, or not Joe, sorry, OTF. Now that they're attacking, they seem to be going at it in a bit more methodical way, you know, absolutely clearing up and opening up the top floor or the top hatches before even attempting to push the blue stairs, which will happen in a few seconds. Aim with the KS-79. Impact made is going to destroy barbed wire, deployable shield, whatever was there no longer is now. So it's going to be up to his last remote gas grenade, which will obviously be used here, or probably be used here, and as such, he will not have it in his back pocket when it comes time to prevent the diffuser from being planted. However, he is wasting a lot of time with these shotgun pre-fires. That's going to be the last Toxic Babe. With under a minute remaining, Joe Esports are still the full masters of the bottom floor. This is looking pretty good for them, actually.
Yeah, lots of time is being wasted on the hands of Clicks. Grenade's going to be going down, but as well as Buck, he's going to die. And that's Zofia with Clicks getting a double kill for aim. So unfortunate. Yeah, that's the definition of an impact frag right there. That is your two utility operators out of the way. Only hard breachers remain, with the Thatcher, Thermite, and Habana on the board. So yeah, they still do have hope to bring in a full swing execute. They're just not going to be able to, well, get to the bottom floor of server stack. That could hinder their push. Now 2v4 situation is going to tell the stakes are high. And with Timsy on his lonesome, he's going to get fragged out by Ali.
Oh, and there was even a team kill in the kill feed at the very last second. I believe it was a down but not out situation or something. Because definitely the very last kill was Clix' kill. What a round. It really does show, or it really does highlight the difference in pacing or the difference in playstyle of both teams, you know? We really did see OTF, not OTF, yeah, OTF, indeed. OTF pushing in a different fashion. A fashion that definitely did not work since apparently Joe Esports were pretty much setting up a defensive site in the same way as OTF were when they were defending. So it kind of, in my mind, isolates the better attack out of those two teams.
Interesting occurrence here. It's going to be from Castle to Valkyrie. What this does, it gives the attack a false sense of objective security. What I mean by this, let me kind of rephrase, trace my steps. So they think by the use of Castle, the attack, that being, that the defense is going to pick CEO. I mean, that's logical, right? You know, Castle's being picked CEO, but rather, it's going to be a 6 pick from Castle to Valkyrie. So, of course, the attack isn't going to expect what site? That's right, staff room open area. A site that you never see being played, coming out from Joe Esports. They just have a full bag of tricks up their sleeve. I mean, coming in from bar stock to open area staff, I mean, what's next? That's my question. Is it going to be Teller Archives from them? Or even if it goes to Coastline, are they going to play Penthouse? Or don't get me wrong, I mean, are they even going to play Blue Bar? Well, I mean, to be fair, Blue Bar isn't that bad of a site. But you get my point. It's de-escalation.
Yeah, in the meantime, definitely OTF will not have a setup that's been custom tailored to push open area. So I am curious to see how they are going to go about it. Definitely, it is going to first start with a control of top floor. Thumbus trying to find out if anybody is going to be in transaction room, opening up a nice line of sight on the right side of the wall to cut off any rotations. But if we just look in third person, nobody is up here. So it's just a matter of droning it out, and then basically the attackers, OTF, will have a foothold into the building itself. And from there, you know, ZZ, Buck, can play the verticality for what it's worth. The floor is not entirely destructible, but there's still some potential to it.
Potential indeed. 45 situation as Ali opens up the kill feed on the side of Joe Esports. That's Thumbus down and F2, and unfortunately, just like that, the intel and utility. But Clicks and Wimpy adding on to that yet again for the kills of Glow and ZZ. It's up to AIM and Timsy solely to finish off the round with a good 120 left. So of course they do have a good window of time to open up and execute, but will they be able to get the frags and or plant down to proceed our round?
Seems unlikely considering we're in a 2v4 situation. Granted, you still have over a minute remaining. Not too much over a minute, but still, you know, you can drone, you can reposition yourself, but hesitating will be punishing in the next few seconds should that happen. That's going to be a Goyo shield as well, which is going to be delaying the objective even more. AIM just holding a drone right here, so he knows the main lobby will be safe, but from there, what are you going to do, or how are you going to go about it? To his right side, we do see a silhouette in the elevators, or not even in the elevator. That's going to be Mozzie getting a kill. Timsy, the last operator alive, has lots of health, gets a first kill. Will he get the second? Wimpy right here, barely not taking damage, barely avoiding an easy death, but delaying. And delaying is going to be really dangerous. Timsy's position apparently is known. Pre-fires don't work. Joe Esports winning round 8. Nicely done.
Nicely done indeed. It's going to be Wimpy on that funny kill cam there. But wow, what a round. Lots of aggressive plays from the defense. It seems that the attack wasn't even able to step foot in the objective. It was a really good idea from the attack to go above plan verticality, but it's just the execution of it was an entirely different story. They got fragged out, they got split up, it was individual engagements. I mean, that's the way you want to devise a roam, and an aggressive one at that.
So here's the thing. Unlike Bar, this time the unexpected weaker bomb sites hold actually succeeded. Joe Esports were able to show us why they go at those unexpected bomb sites, at those unexpected locations, because OTF were not expecting and didn't exactly know what to do. With a decisive countermeasure in place, Joe Esports were able to prevail.
Well, I can see on the left there's a lot of follow notifications.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Thank you all for following.
Yeah, we've broken 40K viewers.
Yeah, as well. I am just going to be somewhat, say, pessimistic. We've had a bit of spam in the last few minutes here, so maybe, just maybe, these are spam accounts following, just to make sure to be in a position to, you know, spam out once the 10-minute mark is up. If I was to put it in follower only since 10 minutes or something along those lines. So yeah, I'm going to be somewhat skeptical, but still, thank you all for following. Thank you all for being here. Hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you guys don't spam too much. Let me just thank the mods in the same breath. Or with the same breath, actually.
Yeah, in the same breath. Alright, well, it seems like Glow, he's on the intel capture, coming in with a potential roam clear through main lobby, along with this AIM and Thumbus making their way through Heaven. So yeah, that Skylight Stairwell and Janitor Hallway going to be probed for intel. Along with that, Rethinkin is actually sitting himself in Janitor, so he's going to be that first operator that the attack will see walking through this hallway. So he could be in his way for an engagement in the next few seconds here. Now Clicks, he's sitting below. He is a X-Factor. When you think about it, he's sitting in electrical. He could get an easy kill, but he doesn't.
Not gonna happen.
Timsy, yeah, he shuts them down from Skylight. And that, well, that's making it even harder for the defense to go about their ways. Geo disputing this, getting a refrag for Timsy. That is the Heart Breacher. You don't want them down when, well, it's all cards on the table. You got a Heart Breacher trying to make a hard breach in CEO. Not quite sure if it was successful, but I'm really hoping that it was. Now the rappel has been made, and it was successful. So the rappel has been made for Zofia, and along with this, a breach hole, giving the attackers that much more of an advantage. Looking into, well, the last minute and a half of this round. Now Wimpy, he's gonna open up the last half with a kill. ZZ.
as we can see, we're still trying to flesh out the roamers. Even though Wimpy is not actively roaming, he's just hunkering down and being pretty successful at it. That was almost a flick shot, but AIM is going to shut him down. Now a 2v2 situation, 53 seconds remaining on the clock. No team has the upper man advantage, and as such, it seems to be shaping up to be a pretty fair fight coming into the to the last 45 seconds of the round. AIM, with their limited utility, is able to open up a last hole, and that is going to be the only line of sight he's going to have. So, if assuming he wants to play verticality, right? Glow unsure as if he wants to push into the side itself, kind of just looking out for those cameras before he actually commits to anything. Seems to be clear, seems to be open. So here, Geo is going to be concussed. His position probably known. Rethinking also gonna have some kind of cross sights. 13 seconds remaining. If Geo gets this kill, it's gonna be over. He gets the first kill. He gets another one. Zofia obviously never gonna be able to get back up. Rethinking actually finishing him off.
Wow, what a kill steal coming from Rethinking.
It was. It was.
So unfortunate. Well, my I was not paying attention to the objective, and I mistook CEO for the actual objective.
It was not actually.
It was not
just
the actual objective, and I knew that at the beginning of the round too. I was looking at that. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So yeah,
so
they were sitting in
all,
Teller's archive.
Yeah, well, Wimpy, and as such, that makes Wimpy's job so much more impressive. He just held that. He held on that small area of the map, you know, with next to nothing in the way of barbed wire, deployable shields, reinforcements, goo mines. What would you? And yet, he did such an amazing job at getting a few kills, at delaying the push, and just being an all-around pain in the butt. You know, he was also successful in basically locking down any vertical play coming off of OTF. And as such, the last push had to be last ditch. It was really rushed because the time wouldn't allow for anything else. And the results pretty much just spoke for themselves. It is now a 6-3 scoreline. Joe Esports basically,
Attackers have discovered the location of
the victory is within their grasp at this point.
They've 180'd.
They have.
You look at the team composition here.
10 seconds remaining.
It went from Doc, Kaid, Goyo, you know, a really professional lineup that you'd expect to see in this meta, all the way to, I mean, it's still professional, but to some extent you can tell they're loosening their grip. I mean, they didn't even reinforce the main walls of the objective. They're playing upstairs. For some reason, they got Mozzie roaming alongside Geo playing on the Vigil. So,
It seems-
I'm not sure about that, but it's going to be a rush coming out of OTF. Clicks picking up a double kill, but AIM disputing that alongside ZZ. 3v3 situation by the time of 2:30 left on the clock. You don't really expect that too much to happen. Yeah, this is definitely last-ditch effort. You're right on that one.
To me, it really felt like, or actually feels, it's still ongoing, like Joe Esports are basically testing out a new strat. And the advantage of surprise definitely worked, like OTF thought they had found
not
an open
necessarily
bar,
a new
an open
strat.
area. Well, you know, they're definitely trying something new, thinking outside the box, and they kind of baited OTF into rushing, thinking the OBJ was open, was unchecked, which is definitely was not, and you know, OTF just paid the price for it. However, if you look at like the number of players alive on both teams, nobody really has the upper hand. Clicks was able to get a nifty double kill with the Nitro Cell, which was pretty nice, but overall, you know, the defenders who died were supposedly at the right times, at the right place. They were there, admittedly, or supposedly where they were supposed to be, and as such, OTF are doing not too bad for themselves, considering it was just a lucky Nitro Cell who got the double kill.
True. So, Timsy. He's on the angles here, along with the defense. Yeah, they're playing quite aggressive into CCTV. Yeah, and it's going to be Valkyrie. Clicks picking up the kill on Timsy, the diffuser bearer. AIM is that second line of offense, walking into the B site. And just like that, we're put down to a 3v2 situation. 1 minute left on the clock, so AIM does have time. This is stagnating, though. So we don't really want this to be happening, and it's going to be Clicks yet again on the quad kill. Will he be able to get the ace? That is the biggest question we have at hand. ZZ drops down the hatch, peeking into red stairs, throws the grenade. He knows that there's one above him. Question is, will he be able to get them?
Oh no.
Now ZZ,
Oh no.
Oh, he's not going to get the kill there, but he's going to pick up the diffuser instead. Now we know Clicks is still sitting in red hallway, and she's going to get some shots on ZZ. But now he's in lockers, so he has the ability to plant. He's got the upper hand, even though we've got one sitting above in the hatch.
And if he's far enough, they're not even gonna hear him planting it. Like, Clicks is not gonna make it before the diffuser gets planted. Rethinking might just be able to get it. He does! And that is gonna be a victory for Joe Esports.
Amazing one at that.
Right
That's
here.
a 2-0.
It is.
2-0 victory, 7-3 scoreline by the end of the second match. That's bank for you.
That is bank. You know, let me just interject something that has nothing to do with the game. You see that victory screen whenever the MVP is an elite smoke. I always find it funny how there is a motorcycle indoors. That's gonna be like my little intervention here that has nothing to do with the game. But yeah, all in all, let me just say this: Joe kind of dominated. They had to crawl back up. You know, they were losing the first few rounds, but it was nothing too dramatic. They were able to pull it back and to end up winning the second map, which in turn was their their second map, not just the second map. And as such, a 2-0 scoreline for this best of 3. They will be our victors of the night, and as such, they'll be progressing to the next level. Whereas OTF, unfortunately, will just have to try again next season.